Puerto Rico.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the great opportunity that you have afforded me. Before you start wondering, no, I am not the junior staffer of the governor of Puerto Rico. I am actually the governor of Puerto Rico, and I am here. I am here to talk to you and to convince you that Puerto Rico is the greatest place to invest right now. I want to share with all of you what my vision for Puerto Rico is within the coming years and why there is such a great opportunity. I see Puerto Rico as the connector of the Americas. Puerto Rico is strategically positioned between North and South America. We have the cultural connection and historical connection to all of the continent. I see Puerto Rico as the place to showcase that we're open for business. I see Puerto Rico as a blank canvas for innovation, and I see it as the destination for the human cloud, where now a lot of the jobs that we're going to have within the future are going to be geographically independent, and people are going to be wanting to look for places where they can have a great and phenomenal quality of life. Finally, I see Puerto Rico as a destination that can potentiate many of your industries, and we can make them grow all over the Americas. Puerto Rico has always been a great place to invest. But the reality is, we have a Puerto Rico that was before the Maria hurricane hit, and one that came after. Let me talk to you a little bit about the Puerto Rico that we had before the storm. We had a place, and still have a place, that has welcomed manufacturing from all over the world, having 12 of the top 20 pharma and biotech manufacturing companies in Puerto Rico. We have a place that has always been pointed to as one that is rich in high-quality human resources for high-quality manufacturing and development. We have great incentives to start your business, and we have great tax considerations as well. We started on a path in our administration about a year and a half ago to enhance that tool set and to give folks more to come to Puerto Rico. We have what is considered the gold standard P3 legal framework, and right now we have 4 P3 projects that are on the pipeline, and the most aggressive P3 pipeline in the United States. We've had permits reform, labor reform. We've externalized the promotion of Puerto Rico as a tourist destination and as a destination to invest. And we've made headway so that many of the funds that were being lost in bureaucracy can now be used to invest in Puerto Rico. Now, we were faced with one of the biggest catastrophic events in modern U.S. history. Hurricane that blasted through the islands, and many of you have probably seen and perhaps for the first time heard of Puerto Rico because of it. The devastation was enormous. And since the hurricane went by, our team had to think on 3 parallel tracks. Number 1, the emergency phase. How do we respond immediately so that we can save lives? Number 2, the recovery phase. How do we bring things back to normal so that people can continue on operating and business can be working fully? We're reaching that point of normalcy, but now the 3rd track, which is the most interesting in my view, the most important, and the one that showcases that Puerto Rico is the place to invest right now, is the rebuilding and reconstruction of Puerto Rico. Now, my team will probably have a hissy fit when I do this, but I want to show you a little bit of the roadmap for Puerto Rico. It's ugly because it's handwritten by myself, but what it showcases is a clear path to the vision that I've been laying out and why it is the best place to invest in Puerto Rico. On the one hand, we are reducing bureaucracy in government and reducing the size of government. We are investing that towards business. We are leveraging now what is likely going to be more than $50 billion in Reconstruction funding with our P3 structure. We are trying to open up Puerto Rico into a multi-port destination so that logistics and tourism can benefit from that. We are building resilient homes that can withstand hurricanes and earthquakes. We have just passed a world-class education reform that will allow Puerto Rico to have the very best in the future in terms of education of the workforce and access to health care for all, making Puerto Rico a prime location to live and to develop. We're also working on a tax reform that will reduce even further the tax considerations for Puerto Rico, and we're making sure that Puerto Rico is an ample place to do business. We have certain incentives that you can't find anywhere else. We have the most aggressive incentives for folks that want to export services in the United States to come to Puerto Rico and have the lowest rates across the nation. We have the same for folks that are of certain wealth and that want to invest and that want to be residents in Puerto Rico. We have the lowest rates for medical doctors so that we're making a stronger and more robust medical community towards the future with the hope that we can also export medical services. But we are doubling down on many of the industries that have already been in Puerto Rico and showcasing that aside from just manufacturing, you can also do research and development in Puerto Rico, and we can also leverage the world-class education universities that we have so that you can have the most aggressive incentives in terms of intellectual property that comes to Puerto Rico and that can be commercialized. So Puerto Rico has gone through a lot. We've been hit with many challenges, but our people have shown they're resilient. We have shown that we have high-quality, world-class human resources. We have shown that we're committed to a path to making Puerto Rico the shining star of the Caribbean and the place to do business in the America. So my invitation to you is plain and simple. You will hear our friends, our leadership is here to take all of your questions and to see how we can connect with you. But whether you're from Europe, from Asia, from anywhere in the Americas, you will find in Puerto Rico a unique opportunity. We've always had these resources. Now, because of the storm, we're putting them together. We're going to leverage a lot of those funds so that we can rebuild Puerto Rico into an innovative place where people want to come to live and to work, and that we can showcase that we're open for business. So I invite you all to come to Puerto Rico and see why we're aggressively pursuing the mantra that you will see that paradise performs. Thank you, and we'll see you in Puerto Rico.